Hello dear ladies and gentlemen, and in this video I'm gonna show you a really brilliant game between Nepomniachtchi and the best current blitz player in the world, Hikaru Nakamura, during 7th round in St. Louis Blitz Stage 2022. This tournament recently finished by Alireza Firouzja Swan, total with 26 points out of 36. And today I'm gonna show you a blitz game. Time control is the same, 5 minutes plus 2 seconds increment per move. And Nepomniachtchi opens the game with king's pawn move e2 to e4 square, e5, and king's gambit f2, f4. And here Hikaru Nakamura, I believe, was in a real shock, and he simply took this pawn on f4. And here Nepomniachtchi had only single move knight to f3 to defend the h4 square for the unpleasant check. Knight went to f3 and d5. Hikaru of course knows the main theory how to play against king's gambit, and simply take a center with his pawn, e takes d5, and knight to f6. Queen could have also take a pawn on d5 square, but it's not really positive way to play in this king's gambit line, because after d4 and c4 move for knight c3, white always would have win a single tempo, and black's queen would have go to some another place. And here simply knight f6 is a reasonable good move from Hikaru's side. Bishop b5 check, and here I simply don't really know if Hikaru knows here a main line. I guess he simply in blitz wanted to play non-theoretical line. He chose a knight b to d7 square, and of course here after bishop b5 check the main line goes after c6 move. Black attacks immediately white bishop and pawn, and here after capture on c6, d4 bishop d6, here black has a really solid position, because here it's with white pieces is really good. It's really difficult to play after h6, g5, bishop g4 are always ideas, and here white always get not some satisfied positions. Yes, and after knight b7 move, castle, bishop e7, bishop e2, it is really a good idea from Jan's side, because after a6 move, white's bishop should also go backwards, bishop c4, knight b6, and it is really a fork to bishop to pawn on d5 square. Bishop e2 was played in this game, and here Jan simply decided to give his opponent an opportunity to take a pawn on d5, but here it's not really necessary to take, because after capture on d5, white can simply attack black's knight, and then d4. White has a really good control over the center, and here simply pawn on f4 is really in a big trouble, and no problems from the opening with white pieces. And here Hikaru realized that he could simply go to the castle, c4, c6, simply capture on c6 and d4. And if we talk about this kind of position after our opening, white really have a cool position, because here pawn on f4 is hanging right now. Here white has a really pleasant and really easy development process. Knight c3, b3, bishop b2, or somehow rook can probably go to e1 square, bishop d3, bishop d2, queen c1, attacking f4 pawn, bishop d6 move was played in this game, knight c3, rook e8, c5, Jan simply attacked his opponent bishop went to 7 square, and here Jan really had a good possibility to play knight g4 with an idea after h6 move. From one side white is hanging on g5. It looks like that single move is to play on h3 square with an idea then to take on f4, but here is simply a sacrifice a knight on f7 square. After king takes, simply check, king goes to f8, and simply here a chess engine says to us that here white's position is normal, and without bishop with 2 pawns compensation, here's white's position is really fine. But from personal side, from personal opinion, I guess that black's position is better. But here Jan proved that he is as simple a person, not a chess engine. Bishop c4 was played in this order. Knight g4, queen went to b3, attacking f7 pawn with an idea to simple with creating a fork on f7, rook e7, h3, rook b8, attacking white's queen. Queen goes forward to a4 square, and here is really unpleasant position for Hikaru because his 2 pieces are hanging right now, and of course here white's position is much better. Knight went to e3, simple capture, and queen took a pawn on c6. Bishop went to b7, queen went backwards, and here simply one pawn down is Hikaru, but his development it's not bad. Bishop on b7 is really a beast piece, because here this diagonal is really under black's control, and here without a single pawn, black's position is not bad. Knight f6, and here I really like Jan's idea to play d5, because if Jan wouldn't play d5, then black's pieces could simply block all the white center, and here it's not easy to find a solution to fight a right plan to play with white. And here Jan simply sacrifices pawn, and after knight took on d5, here Jan simply blundered. He must have played rook a to d1, simply with unpleasant pin for black, and here is only option to play rook d7, and after bishop b5 move, here black has no more choice, because after rook c7 or rook e7 moves, it doesn't matter, and after c6, here black's position is totally lost, because 2 pieces are hanging at that moment, and here was a single option for black to play knight b4. Queen could go to f5 square, and here really it's simply hard to evaluate this kind of position on the board. But in the game Jan blundered. He played knight g5 and bishop f2 check, and here if Jan for instance, if Jan played king h1, simply after knight f6 with this h7 pawn defense, here really white's position is in trouble, because all these dark squares in white's camp are really weak, and here is against this bishop is really it's not an easy to play. And here Jan simply sacrificed equality. Queen took on f2, h6, knight took on d5, bishop takes on d5, and here after these light pieces exchange, Hikaru's position was totally fine, and simply after rook d6 move from Jan's side, black's position is totally winning. Yes, perhaps you can say that it's only a quality for black's side, and here white simply have a pressure on kick side. But from another point of view, here after queen e7 move, black has no more any problems. Then the next idea is to play rook b to d8 square, attacking white's rook on d6, and here is black's position is total winning, and Jan took a rook c6. Here is not more possible to take pawn on c6, because here after queen take on f7, here is not really, it's not easy to defend this position, and black's king is simply in a big trouble. And here black declined to take this pawn. Queen c7 was the following move from Hikaru's side. Bishop d5 defending a pawn on c6, rook d8, and queen f5. And here the pawn on g5 is under attack, and g6 move is no more possible, because here is unpleasant pin for the black king, and here even black side is in big trouble. Okay, and Hikaru found the right move to go to queen with to e7 square, defending his pawn on g5, bishop f3, and here both of opponents have had not enough time. Jan and Hikaru had approximately 10-15 seconds each, and here Nakamura simply was trying to somehow to reach a better position. For instance, king went to g7 square. Now king is near to the center. Rook went to e8 square, queen d2, queen a1, and here also not all move were correct from both sides, because it is a blitz, and all tournament participants are not the computers, are not the chess engines, and of course all the participants are simple humans. And the rook d8 move, queen e3, a6, because a pawn was under attack, a4. Queen d6 move is also a blunder from Hikaru's side, because after king g1 move backwards and simply capture on b4, here white have had really changed to somehow to escape, because after rook c8, queen e5, f6, queen could move also to e6 square now, and here is not so easy to win this position with black pieces. But here king h1 was also a mistake from Jan's side. Queen took on b4, queen e5, king g8, and here I simply don't understand how Jan Nepomniachtchi, the world chess title challenger, simply didn't see a move c7 square with an idea after rook c8 playing bishop g4, attacking a rook. Only a single option to play with black is f5, and after queen e6, queen c7, queen c8, black should have also give a perpetual check to white, and here really in that moment Hikaru should have saved his position, simply otherwise. But here Jan took a pawn on g5, that was a critical mistake from Jan's side, and here simply white's free pawn was simply stopped by black's queen, rook e8, with an idea to checkmate in one, queen d2, queen g3, also with an idea to almost a checkmate white's king, bishop e2, blocking e-file, rook b8, queen c2, queen f2, also a really unpleasant pin, c7, rook c8, and here simply after c7 move, how we can understand and how we can see the pawn is blocked, and after queen b6 or queen f4 idea, pawn simply is almost dead. Queen b6, queen took on a6, and here position is totally lost because all these dark squares in white's camp are simply so weak that here after rook c1 is almost a checkmate for white's king. Bishop f1 a single option. Here Hikaru took a last queen side white pawn, and really here is a simple realization. Here black simply speculated on queen's exchange, because if, for example, after queen f2 and after exchange, simple position is total loss, because black's king goes to the center, and here here in this with these dark light squares, white cannot simply save this position. And here was move king h1, queen c7, queen f3, queen c6. Opponents simply added extra seconds on their clocks. Queen c7, queen f3, and queen c4 attacking white bishop. Only option is to play king g1, queen d4 check. Simple centralization. King went to h1 and king g7, with an idea to move their king to the safe position, that no any checks would really possible to black's king. King h2, rook c3, and here simply Hikaru found a right plan how to win this position. And here after couple of checks and move queen a6, simply resigned Jan after 71st move in this game, queen f2. It's not possible way to defend the bishop, and after this pin simply Jan had resigned and the game ended by Hikaru's won. And King's Gambit was simply wasn't a good option in this game. Of course, Jan after opening got a really perspective position, but it is blitz, and Hikaru Nakamura simply was better in this game. I appreciate that you finished watching this game. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next video.